to the Black Lion Podcast. I'm your host, Dom, and we back again with our special guest, Shenise Nicole, and we're going to talk about how sexuality is being forced on children. And Shenise, you can get us started, please.
Yeah, so I feel like this is one of the most like sensitive topics with the LGBT community because I just feel like, they're almost a protected class and you have to be very, very careful what you say about them. But I feel like when it comes to children in particular, I definitely believe that, there are certain things that we should just keep like normal. Whereas, like, in a sense where when kids are born, they, on their birth certificate, they are either born male or female. So when you teach a kid that, they don't have to identify as that, they can identify as they, them, non-binary, gender fluid, all this other stuff, I feel like it gets confusing. Like, I wouldn't want my child to be 8 years old talking about, oh, I'm non-binary. I don't even know what that is. Like, that's kind of like, I'll be like, well, what, well, you ate. How you come up with that conclusion? So like that exposure, like when they exposing stuff like that in school, or when they're exposing stuff like that, like TV or like YouTube, social media, things that kids can access or have a lot of access to, it gets a little scary. Not just being a parent, but it gets a little scary being an adult because we are literally living in a world where kids are taught that they can be anything they want to be. And instead of teaching them, like, yeah, you could be anything you want to be, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be a firefighter. It's more so like, yeah, you could be male today, you could be female tomorrow, you could be non-binary next week. Like, that is scary. Like, that's crazy.
And they can change things legally.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like, even with the bathroom situation, it's like, I could literally look physically, that I'm a female. But if I decide to start identifying as a male, I think they're allowing like females that identify, or even vice versa, that identify as like the other sex, depending on the place that they're at, they allow them to use that restroom, which is scary and like concerning at the same time. Because how would you feel if you seen somebody like me walk into the men's restroom and I'm like, oh no, my name ain't Shenise, I'm Shaquille. Like, what? Like, that's confusing. Like, if I was to walk up to somebody and they like, oh, what you identify as? Well, my pronouns are him and her. I mean, him and he. Like, that would be confusing because you would be like, well, you don't. I mean, I guess. And if I demanded that you like identify or acknowledge me as that, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I clearly look like a.
They feel that way though. A lot of ones that dress like but just they won't like. They're like, no, I'm a dude. No, miss, you is a woman. I don't
Yeah,
care. You take your breasts away. You do all that you want. You still got a kitty at the end, a real kitty.
yeah,
But they want. But then when they get in the fight, well, they try to fight some. But at the end of the day, they can't really beat a man.
right. Yeah. And I feel like too, I look at the science of things too, the way our bodies are designed. Like, men just don't have uteruses. You know what I'm saying? I could try so hard to like go and get all the cosmetic surgery in the world to be a man, but my insides are always gonna say female. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I was born. Like, I don't there's just internally I have female sexual reproductive organs. So no matter how hard I try to be a man, like, I was just born a woman. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's a situation where it's like that person is a hermaphrodite and your external organs, you have both, but one is functional and the other isn't, or whatever the case may be. That's a little bit different. But I'm clearly a female. You know what I'm saying? And for me to have the desire to be a male, I just feel like really, really just have to be confused. And I can only imagine, like, I'm confused just even trying to think about like how people even come up with that conclusion of going as far as to actually, like, undergo surgery to make that transition. You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine what that exact person is feeling like when they're like, "Oh no, I feel like I should be the other gender." Like you really grew up confused. Like you were born one thing, but you feel another. Like so now you feel like you have to transition, but nothing is perfect. Like I just feel like all this medicine, all this surgery, all this stuff, I couldn't mess with it. I couldn't.
How do you feel about them when they say that it's not that they was born in the wrong bodies and stuff like that?
Yeah, to me, it just, see, sometimes I do give it a little bit of a pat, just a little bit, just a little bit. If they're, say, like, if it's a guy, right, and he's obviously flamboyant, like he just acts like a female, has an attitude like a female, this, that, and the third. I feel like, okay, I don't know, maybe that's what you really feel like you are, but at the same time, that's what drag is for, like just be
And
gay. I don't necessarily feel like make the transition, like just be gay because this is how you was born and that's just what it is.
I just have a big issue with they say that it wasn't a choice. It is a choice. You choosing to be in that to do that lifestyle. You choosing a lifestyle because that's why it's options to choose a lifestyle. So to me, it's a choice. It's not that you're saying they say it's not they didn't choose this. You did choose it because you gonna do what make you happy. So you choosing a lifestyle that makes you happy.
Yeah,
And I don't understand why they don't see that as a choice because obviously all the evidence show that you're choosing this lifestyle.
yeah,
Because you take all the necessary precautions to safeguard yourself while you're doing the lifestyle that you choosing to live. So,
yeah,
but they get offended. They want to get yeah, they get offended when they try to counsel people because we just saying facts more so. We're not attacking them. We're just talking.
yeah. I always
Say that again.
I was gonna say, I always like to say, like I wish a lot of them would live with the mentality of, opinions are like, you know, buttholes. Everybody has one. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like, we shouldn't have to feel like we walking on eggshells just to even discuss this issue because I just feel like at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that have children and there's a lot of people that fear what their children are being exposed to. So I just feel like, I don't mind the same sex lifestyle at all. I don't. I mean, love is love. You know what I'm saying? I got a best friend that I love like family. You know what I'm saying? And so on. Not romantically, because that's not my preference, but I have a friend that I really love. Like I'm like, that's my sister. Like, you know what I'm saying? Love is love. But
Love them.
to I wouldn't discriminate against same sex, but to actually, want to go from being a Ralph to a Keisha, now that's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy. Like, and I've also seen like influencers that were like born males and now I mean they got boobs sit up higher than mine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like wigs look better, just laid better than some females. I'm just like, oh my God. And to me, it's just like it's crazy because you don't know who you dealing with nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And they even get offended when straight guys are like, I don't like that. Like I want a woman that was born a woman. And they be like, well, I'm still a woman at the end of the day. That's what I identify as. And that's where the problem is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's misleading in a sense, because anytime, any day, if somebody that decided to identify as one gender, one day they could go the next day and be like, oh no, I changed my mind. I'm back. I'm back my original gender now. Like that is so confusing. You know what I'm saying? Like that confuses a lot of people and kids at that too, because kids don't really understand that. And I feel like kids are innocent at the end of the day, and I don't feel like we should expose them to that. I feel like that should be filtered because there's bigger things and more 8 years old that want to be a boy. You know what I'm saying? Or even liking the same sex. I'm like, what do you mean you only 9 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old. What do
They
you
should
need?
know what that means. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of like, I don't feel like us as a country should be focusing on that. Like that shit. A lot of people say that he did that during his pregnancy. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know too much of everything that Obama passed during his presidency. But I think the reason why he did do that is because I could give him the benefit of the doubt and say that there are a lot of African Americans that are now coming out as gay, bisexual, you know what I'm saying? And we just gonna put it out there. Black people are not gonna have equal civil rights. Like that is not something anybody's gonna really fight for us when it comes to a political leader. You know what I'm saying? There is no, how many presidents we didn't have? 40, 49, 50, 50. We didn't have 50 presidents. Not one president passed a right or a bill or a law that really made us an official protected class, right?
Right.
So I feel like it's easier, and they know that Congress is not going for that. They know that Congress isn't going for that. So I feel like it's probably easier to pass, like gay laws and transgender laws because, some way, somehow, Black people could kind of still be protected under those laws and have rights. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't feel like the majority of that community is Blacks, but somehow, some way, Blacks will still kind of, in a way, be protected as long as they're gay, bisexual, or a part of the LGBTQIA. They added more letters, but I think it's LGBTQIA community. Somehow, some way,
Did what
it's
he always said that they let he did what he could, and because they wasn't letting a lot of stuff pass Congress. Everything he tried to pass, they didn't let pass.
yeah. I don't think he did either. I think he knew going in there because they talked bad about his wife.
Go to a monkey, right, or something like that.
They talked real bad about Michelle Obama. It was somebody called her a monkey, okay? They talked so bad about that woman. I mean, they went out on a date and they put in the blogs that the Obama's credit card declined, and I'm like, come on now. Y'all acting like these people don't got law degrees. Why are you
Right.
playing with, like, come on now? So I think he knew going in there that they, for one, first and foremost, they not gonna pass no actual equal rights for Black people, and they're not gonna pass nothing giving us reparations. Those are the two main things they not gonna pass for Black people. So I feel like now the new agenda, you know what I'm saying, is to kind of push, being a part of the LGBTQIA community because they're more of a protected class than we are.
A lot of people, what you call them, woke people. They said that they took the spot that our people was supposed to be in, like protective.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's crazy though.
Yeah, I feel like, and there's so many people that support the community. It's just crazy. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
everybody be happy for Pride Day. I was like, yo, these people really. It'd be all types of people out there. So
Hmm.
I was like, I said, teach his own, whoever own, what you like. It is what it is.
Yeah, the only main issue that I have with it, me personally, there's a lot of people that got a lot of issues with, all of that, but I just honestly feel like the main issue is just exposure for kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like kids should be exposed to things that they really and truly should have to wait until they're an adult to do. I mean, let's think about it, right? How old do you have to be to even get a tattoo? Unless an adult. Like, I
Right.
mean, standard all across the board. Like, you gotta be 18. Well, I know out here you gotta be 18 to even get a tattoo. You gotta be 21 to even buy alcohol.
Well,
They
they
are not,
changed the law on the 21 to even buy tobacco products now.
yeah. And it used to be 18. Now it's 21. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you have to be a certain age just to get ink put on your body, right? Or to even purchase and consume drugs and alcohol, you know what I'm saying? Why are kids being allowed at 14 years old to change their gender? Like, to me, that doesn't make any type of sense. You're going to allow them to make a whole life-changing decision before they can even smoke and drink or buy that stuff on their own?
Right. There's always been some type of agenda
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
to keep our people's family divided, or some type of chaos going on within the families.
Yeah.
Division.
And it's definitely that's crazy to me. I just feel like society gets, I don't want to say for the best either. Like, we are literally living in blasphemy. So yeah, that's crazy. But
It's only gonna get worse.
it's yeah, absolutely. But as long as people see that and recognize that and really try to be good people and live good lives. I feel like, it's crazy to see a lot of things unfold. However, you can still get a lot out of this life, even with society throwing us a wrench, you know what I'm saying? Shaking things up and stuff like that. I feel like, you can still be grateful, thankful, and still have a good life. But I just think that, there's a lot of things that, we as a society are gonna have to come to terms with in terms of, what they're trying to normalize these days. I just think that a lot of this stuff, I just, it's questionable, and I'm like, okay, who thought this was okay to, like, really, make this officially okay for the country? Like, who needs to have a conversation, Congress? Because what's going on?
Because some of them undercover bisexual, so they be doing they little thing in secret.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what be going on. They do things in they little on their secret society clubs and nasty things.
yeah,
They come out. They don't want to feel that backlash that it would normally come under. So if you normalize it, it's like people just say, "Oh, we already expected that," because how the laws are now. So
yeah.
it
But
wouldn't be like an ethical concern.
yeah, I feel like my thing is, the way that America, or the way they set up America doesn't have like a militant, as a country. What's the best way that I could put this? As a country, we are a melting pot of different cultures, religions. You know what I'm saying? It's a mix of everybody here. So to me, it doesn't make sense to push an agenda where, we got people coming from everywhere. It's not like it's a communist society where that. You know what I'm saying? We live with freedom here. We are literally the land of the free. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it don't look so free, but I don't understand pushing agendas on people when, if again, we the land of the free. So why even push an agenda when you know that if somebody doesn't agree with it, it's like, so what? You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand what the whole why some things are just forced. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
I would say the word black and African American, it means from a descendant of Africa. But a lot of people since yeah, I would say probably before the pandemic, probably mean more like 2016. A guy named Dane Calloway, he from DC, like Washington DC.
Yeah.
He used to go around on his YouTube channel. He a historian and stuff like that, and he would document, well, get records, and those documents state that the Black Americans are actually American Indians, aka the indigenous people of North America. So more like 95% of the Black Americans are actually American Indians, meaning that we was already here.
Yeah.
This government but to answer your question, the reason all this stuff goes on because the government that currently governs us is a foreign government. So that's why when foreigners come here, they get everything faster than we do. Because this government is for foreigners, not for the indigenous people of the land. That's why we get treated the way we do.
Yeah.
East Indians, they come over here. Asians and African people, they come, they get all this welfare or whatever they get, the welfare system, the business loans and stuff like that. They able to grow their business faster. But we here, we gotta go through 10 loops before we get all that. It's crazy though, but that's how this government works. It's for foreigners though. If people pay attention to what really happens, that's why it's poppy stores all over. You don't see. I saw one black store in my neighborhood, and he shut down eventually. It was
Yeah.
2010. Shut down like 2012, I would say. He shut his store down. But
Yeah.
it's hard though.
Yeah.
They make us have to go do more hoops than foreigners have to.
Yeah. I will say that like in southern areas though, you will see a lot of, us. You see a lot of us running businesses and so on and being like real successful, but those are like southern states, you know what I'm saying? Where a lot of their history and culture was based off of like slavery, which kind of like sucks, but
They say
and
slavery wasn't slavery. It was more so servitude, meaning they employed from research that saying that basically it's the same thing as it is today when people get a job. They servitude, but they call it slavery, meaning some people were slaves and some people was indentured servants.
yeah.
And today it's the same thing, that on job application. Basically, you gotta obey all documents when you sign up for a job.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed on like when you get hired as well too on a job. I'll read my paperwork, and every job that I have had on my new hire paperwork, they all have said we can terminate you for any reason. And basically they don't have to tell you why they terminating you. They can terminate.
Right there, black and white. That's why I'm
Mhm.
like, I be telling my own, like, my sisters and some people that I know, I said, make sure y'all reading what y'all signing
Yeah.
before you sign it. Even though you like, oh, I just want the job, I want to get this money. I understand that. But just make sure you know what you're signing up for.
Know what you signing your life away for. Yeah, I always say too, like a 9 to 5 almost is a form of, in my opinion, almost resemble slavery, only in a sense where, like mentally for me, because it's like you spend 8 to 12 hours, sometimes even 16, depending on, the industry that somebody is in, right? You literally spend your whole day. There's only 24 hours in a day. You'll literally spend like your whole day at work. If it's eights, it's usually 5 eights, right? You spend 5 days of your week, 8 hours out of your day at a job. You literally only get 2 days off. And if you have a family, you only get 2 days to spend that with your family, unless you call off. And you can't even really call off when you start on a new job. You can't even really call off for the first 3 months that you're there. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's super emergency. So you go 3 months, right? Perfect attendance, and you only get 2 days off or whatever. And to me, it's like, where does 2 days off give you an opportunity to really handle family stuff, appointments, things that are important to keep yourself going. You know what I'm saying? You're just working, working, working so much. Like, and that's just the time that you're working. You still gotta account for a lot of people that, and I was one of them, that actually commuted far, you know what I'm saying? Just for better pay. So you gotta consider the commute time. So now not only are you working 8 hours, but your whole day could very well be. I remember my drive from where I'm at to one of my jobs was like almost an hour. You know what I'm saying?
And that,
So I to actually leave like an hour and 20 minutes earlier. You know what I'm saying? So one, I could get to work early and get my mind right for work. You know what I'm saying? And then two, I don't know how traffic gonna be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, okay, not only am I working 8 hours, and then on that job I actually was working 12. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my I worked my 12, but my commute time was there. My commute time was maybe like 45 minutes back. You know what I'm saying? Because when I got off, there wasn't much traffic. So 45 minutes back or whatever. So now here we go. That's 2 hours in commute time plus my 12 hours. So that's 14 hours that I spent away from my kid. And then I got to do that a couple more other days now. So now the first 2 off days, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I am trying to relax. I don't want to have to do nothing. So yeah, that's crazy. I just feel like, it doesn't accommodate people with families. It doesn't accommodate time that you need to really take care of yourself. Go to the dentist, go to the doctor, go to, get your eyes checked, go to even maybe get a massage, because if your muscles are wearing down, like, you can't perform your best. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, that's just it's modern day slavery to me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Day slavery to me, unless you are your own boss and you find a way to generate passive income. It's modern day slavery to me. But there are people that are okay with that.
It's safer on the plantation for 'em, because when you got your own business, you taking a big leap because you're going out there and you pick your own hours and you got to work to really got to work to make that money.
Right.
So even though you a job from a corporate place and you could just work, and that's a safety net, but it's really not safe because that employer of yours can fire you at any time. So
Exactly. And then on top of that, I really don't look at it as too much of a safety net either. Only because anybody that knows what they do with the 401k money, they put that in the stocks and they trading that mug. They're trading the 401k money. And secondly, you can get terminated at any time. We've all seen what happened during the pandemic. You could be on a job for 20 years and they will lay you off, get rid of you, just like that. It's you know what I'm saying, a shutdown where, people are losing their jobs and stuff like that. We have nothing that's recession proof every 10 years. That's kind of crazy. So I would think that, this society would change things for the better, but I would think that more people would be like, okay, well, I'm going to allow this to just do what it's going to do and invest in myself and generate, a type of income to where if I'm not on this job no more, I am still okay. I'm saying.
I can still take care of my family.
Exactly. I could still take care of my kids, but the keys to that are in books, and they didn't want to teach us how to read. So now we got a whole generations on down of people who don't want to read stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's so bad to where it's just like now there's an agenda. Now a lot of people have to succumb to an agenda that really just, I'm like, is this what we really came to? Is this what the world has come down to? In order for us to be a protected class, we gotta be a part of a community where they're not even all the way unified, but they have more rights than us skin folk. That's crazy to me, It's crazy.
We thank y'all for a lot. We thank y'all, and we would like for y'all to give y'all feedback, and we'll be back again with another topic. Y'all just please let us know what y'all think of the podcast and our own opinions.
Until next time, y'all. Peace.